Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout, and this is another page kit that I had in my stash, and I just had a few minutes today and I thought, you know what, I that's enough to do a layout. So there was 3 sheets of pattern papers which I'm going to cut apart, or 2 sheets of pattern papers, and then I did get a piece of cardstock in my stash, and in the end you're not going to see that cardstock at all, but it was, you know, a place where I could build my layers of pattern papers. So I cut down that first sheet of pattern paper to 5 by 12, and then I'm going to put that 4 by 6 card where it says this is our happy place. Now, when I saw this card, this is what made me think of these photos. These are pictures of some waterfalls that we hiked to a couple years ago. They were some 4 by 6 photos, but I did end up cutting them down to 3.5 by 4, and then that way I was going to be able to have a place in the middle of my layout where I can put a second title, and then I was also able to mount my photos on this pattern paper. So when I first thought of this, I thought maybe that I could have the this is a happy place at the top of the layout and then have the pictures at the bottom part of the layout. But the more I looked at it, I wanted my photos to be at the top of the layout. So I'm just going to move that around. And that piece of pattern paper with the small flowers, that's also cut at 5 by 12. I just decided to put that on the bottom, and then that way I'll be able to put a journaling card right next to that 4 by 6 card. Now I'm going through some of the embellishments that I have within this page kit, and I'm going to start building some embellishment clusters. I had this washi tape that was also from the same collection as that 4 by 6 card, and it has those flowers on it. I'm going to end up using it, but just in a couple of little areas on the journaling card. So as I'm looking at this, I really like that the photos are at the top, and then I'm going to have sort of that 4 by 6 card and a place for my journaling card at the bottom of the layout. What I'm having issue with is that center bar. I'm trying to think of how can I fix that. Now that washi tape, I know I'm going to put it at the top and the bottom of that journaling card, and then that way I get to use the washi tape. And because that washi tape is sort of transparent, it doesn't work very well to put as little strips to say, okay, this is where my pattern paper finishes and ends. Okay, I know I want that piece at the top, that piece at the bottom, but I'm trying to think, what can I do in the center? I find it gets lost because it's a little plain. So then I looked at the back side of the pattern paper that I use at the top of the layout, and I really like that chevron looking pattern paper. So I'm going to put that in the center. Then I'm still looking to see if I can use that washi tape, but I don't think it's going to work for me. So while I'm thinking, I'm going to move on to something that I know I want to do. So I know I want to put that card there. Then I want to use that journaling card, but it's kind of white. So I'm going to take gathered twigs and I'm just going to distress my journaling card. So instead of having that bright card, I'm going to have this card that really coordinates with the rest of the layout. I was really having a lot of problems with my ATG gun, but I got it figured out. I got it working. It's one of those tools that 1 minute it's one of my favorite tools, and then the next I could throw it across the room. But in all seriousness, I do like my ATG gun. Sometimes I think it's the tape that I have. It's not the best quality tape, so you get what you pay for, but I get it working again. And believe it or not, I did cut out quite a bit of this, but I just wanted to show you that, sometimes it just will give you a little bit of a headache, but I still think it's worth it. It's just a matter of knowing how to get it to work. So while I'm gluing everything down, I just want to take a minute and just say thank you for all, the positive comments that you guys left after my last video. I'll admit, I was feeling a little low that day, feeling much better today. And I think I found of course, I know the cause, but I'm going to work this Friday, and I think there's a lot of anxiety surrounding that because I know it's not going to be it's going to be a little crazy there. So I think it was just kind of the anxiety of that. But I'm doing much better today, so I did want to say thank you. I'm feeling much better. I think it's going to take a bit of time for all of us to get used to this new normal, what our new normal is going to be for the next few months. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this layout. I had this other 4x6 card that said go outside and explore, and I just cut each of the word out, and I'm going to use it as my title on the layout. And I find that it stands out so much better on that yellow pattern paper than just that craft cardstock. So what I decided to use for the strip was some cardstock. I cut it down to about 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to put it where the pattern paper ends. If you saw, I did go through my stash and I did look at several washi tape options, and I find a lot of times with the washi tape, I find them a little too wide. Now what I could have done was taken my ruler, cut the washi tape in half, but I did have some scrap cardstock, so I decided to go with that instead. And I really like how it separates the top of the layout to the bottom of the layout, but also it kind of made a home for my title right in the center of the layout. I'm going to put 3 embellishment clusters on this, one next to that this is our happy place card, then one next to the journaling, and then one above the word explore. So this is another layout that I ended up doing strips of pattern papers, at the top and the bottom of the layout, but just by adding that extra strip in the middle and putting a title there, it totally changed the look of the layout. So I really love using the same idea, but just changing it enough that your layouts look different. Now this is where I decide that I'm going to put that washi tape on my journaling card, just adding some more of those little flowers. And I find sometimes journaling cards are a little bland, especially the ones that I use, the 4x6 Project Life cards. They're a little bland, but I really like just adding a piece of washi tape and some embellishments around it, and it decorates it enough or spiffies it up enough that then I like the journaling card. So one more thing, I just want to remind you that until April 10th, I have my Scrapathon class on for $20, and that includes approximately or close to 40 videos, 6 lives, and 7 digital files, which are viewfinders and labels. So if you take what the viewfinders are worth minus the 20, that means that you can get the class for $6. And the reason I'm doing this is because of everything that's going on in the world, and I know there's a lot of people that are at home stressed out, so I'm hoping that that will keep us connected and busy and just put our minds somewhere else where we can be productive. But that's it. That's going to complete this layout, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.